Hello, hello, lovely people. My name is Coach Adrian, and I have the great honor and privilege to be joined by one of my favorite people in the entire world, Coach Abby.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to join you today. I think our conversation is going to be so welcomed by you. At least it comes from a great place from me, and it's going to be an interesting. Thank you very much for inviting me, Coach Adrian.
Absolutely. I mean, you're not even a guest here. You come on anytime, and I'm so happy that we're doing this together. We have a very, very, very special announcement. It's a special day, and we have something very special for you. And it's because my dear friend, Coach Abby, has released a new in-depth program on the law of attraction. And I wanted to kind of interview her, ask her some questions so that I can get a little bit wiser and so that you guys can have practical tools and tips that can help you in your relationship. Is that okay with you, Abby?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Wonderful, wonderful. So when thinking about the law of attraction, I wrote a few questions just to be prepared. What does it comprise of? What does it even mean, the law of attraction?
I think we really have to get into what the law of attraction is meant to be. First and foremost, the majority, I find, associate the law of attraction with an unbelievable book, The Secret. And yes, it's very, very interesting and it's wonderful and it really brings it to light. But it goes way beyond The Secret. Actually, the law of attraction is supported by the theory of quantum physics. Energy attracts energy. And if we can, at least for certain moments during our days, think of ourselves more as energy having a physical experience versus being physical, having energy experience, it facilitates the whole thing. So the law of attraction is basically all about how we feel, how our energy frequency is. And that's what we have to cultivate and pay tremendous attention to.
Thank you for these insights. Welcome to Nahid. Welcome to all of you world. I am joined by the amazing Coach Abby today for a YouTube Live on the law of attraction and how the law of attraction can help you get your ex back, find happiness in love. I am learning a great deal from Coach Abby on the topic, and I wanted to be able to do a live in order for you guys to learn as well with us. What you're saying resonates with me a lot because although in my approach to relationship coaching, I don't often refer to and use the law of attraction, I see in my clients' behavior how certain fears, certain energies can really push their significant other away. And how when individuals are in the right mindset, as I like to refer to it as, it's very easy to get this person back into the fold.
Sometimes it's not even the mindset. When we start literally detaching from them, they sort of come back all by themselves. And it's because we're no longer expelling those negative feelings. And those negative feelings are fueled by doubt, by worry. So we sort of have to detach ourselves from that.
So I know that in your new program on how to use the law of attraction to get back with your significant other, you talk a lot about not chasing and making sure that you're using a strategy of attraction in order to maximize the law of attraction. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So basically, when we chase something, what we're saying is we need it, we lack it. We don't chase something that we have.
That's right.
So, I mean, here again, what we're doing is we're making our energy frequency of that of need. So what happens? We start literally attracting more need. It's that saying, when it rains, it pours. It's not that when it rains, it pours. It's simply because we are focusing on negativity. So it sort of accumulates itself. At the same token, there is that, she's on a lucky streak. She's really not. What she is, she's once again attracting whatever it is through her positive frequency. And it's sort of a simple science when we can focus on it, when we are, purposely and intentionally using this type of strategy. I look at it as the butterfly theory. So the butterfly theory, the way that I feel is if you chase something, you chase that little butterfly, it's going to disappear. You will don't stand a chance against that little. You focus on yourself. You focus on energizing yourself. You focus on cultivating your garden. And as those rose blooms and you've got all the saps and what have, all of a sudden you find yourself these butterflies coming back to you. We do the same thing with our relationship. So we focus on ourselves. We elevate our energy. We are able to attract. There are some people that walk into rooms and people just immediately go to them. And it has so much to do with their energy. It's really, they haven't even opened up their mouth, basically.
I love what you're sharing. And it's really aligned with our approach and our philosophy from the very beginning of our project, both Happily Committed and with my ex again. It's all about personal transformation and making sure that you use the challenges that you're facing in a breakup in a relationship in order to better yourself, to attract this person back to you the right way and for the right reasons.
I think that it's important also to interject that it is human behavior when someone leaves us for us to want to grab them tight or to suffocate them.
Right.
And it's just so counterproductive. And if we could only just pull back, focus on ourselves, work on, like I said, creating that positive energy frequency to attract. It's quantum physics. I didn't invent it.
That's right.
It's there. And it works over and over.
Guys, thank you so much for being live with us. We have the privilege of having Coach Abby live. So hello to Dora, hello to Slog, hello to Nahid and Brian and all of you, wherever you are around the world. I have the unique privilege to be joined with my dear friend Abby because she just finished a course, a very in-depth program on using the law of attraction to reattract an ex. And I want to learn from Abby. And I was hoping that we could do this live so that you could also start to gain some insights and some knowledge and some wisdom so that you can use these tips to get back with your significant other. For those of you that are wondering, you can find access to her program. I'm going to put it in the chat. We see your comments and we're going to try to answer them after I'm done asking Coach Abby a few questions. Please tell us where you're from. And if you have questions for Abby, don't hesitate to really fire away. So you often talk about in your program, you talk about be careful what you wish for when using the law of attraction. And I think I'm pretty sure I know what most of the individuals that are connected here are wishing for. So why should they be careful?
All right. So I'm going to even extend the wishing just a tinge. So what I'd like to think is be careful what you think of. Okay. There is so much power in our thoughts. There's so much power in our words. And sometimes, we're thinking, oh, they're not going to come back. Oh, there was someone else. That other person is so amazingly handsome, so perfect, so wonderful.
Yes.
And we start deminimizing ourselves. And so this is why it's so important. We be careful what we think of, what we write, what we say, what we wish. And the reason is because, we have to be clear. We have to work on clarity. What it is that we're really looking, not, be walling around and not too sure of what it is that we're looking for. And so, yes, we have to be very, very careful. We have the beauty of the law of attraction, the way I see it, is you own it. You have it. It's yours. Right. I'm just going to show you how to find it. And once you find it, it's not only just for your ex, it's for your career, for your family.
I
implement it
agree.
in everything that I do.
I love that. I love how your course is really designed to help us harness something that we already inherently possess. And I love this notion of bringing clarity, because a lot of times in coaching sessions, although people feel like they know what the end goal is, what they want, because they're in a state of vulnerability, there's very little clarity as to how to get there. And a lot of trauma associated with what they've gone through. So another thing that you discuss in your course is the different components of the law of attraction. To be honest, I did not know a lot of the things that you shared, and I'm learning a great deal from this. So could you please give some insights to all of the friends that are here connected with us on these different components of the law of attraction, because it was not clear to me initially.
Okay. So basically, once again, it's not a magic wand. It's not something that comes in and says, we're going to be able to do something. We have to work for it, and we have to prepare our souls for it. And we start by meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And meditation is an unbelievable way to align yourself with the universe. Remind yourself, here we are, physical, a component, using our energy field to align ourselves with the universe. So meditation to me is a very, very important onset, followed by affirmations. I cannot, stress how important affirmations are. And affirmations is not about I want. I don't want anything, because when we want, we are saying we're in need. I'd like to change it more to I have, and work on what it is that you are building yourself up. You have to create that inner strength.
Mm-hmm.
And then I follow it by journaling. There's so much power in our words, as I mentioned before, in our thoughts and our writing. It's very, very important. And finally, visualization. Visualization is so much fun, and people are a little bit skeptical and scared of it. But it's daydreaming. We've done it since day one. Remember when you were a kid, you were sitting back and saying, when I grow up, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. But it felt real. It felt possible. And this is what I stress so much in this seminar, as well as in my coaching sessions.
It's so interesting because a lot of these components I use in my coaching sessions, but I never realized that I was actually drawing on the law of attraction, and the way that you're sharing this is very insightful. And let me give you an example, a practical example. A lot of times, obviously, individuals that we're working with are wallowing in self-doubt, in negative energy. You're thinking that the person you love is gone forever. They're going to jump into another relationship. They're going to stop thinking about you. And a lot of people have questions around how to deal with those negative emotions, because it's overwhelming. Really, it can be really overwhelming, even for the strongest, most secure individuals. When the rug is pulled from underneath your feet like that, it can be overwhelming. So can you elaborate a little bit on clearing that negative energy from a law of attraction perspective?
I think that it's important to understand that we're all in this together. Just because I'm a coach doesn't mean that I have been immune to this. Obviously, I've lost my loves. It's normal. It happens. However, what is very, very important is to look within yourself. Life begins in your first breath. It's as simple as that. As we're born, we take our first breath and life unfolds. When we want to look at taking away any negative energy, go back to your breathing. Just find yourself in a calm place. It doesn't even have to be in a yoga room or a guru. You're in the middle of a business conference. You feel overwhelmed. You feel that negativity surround you. Just find a little quiet spot and focus on your breathing. And really just breathe in, breathe out. Take it to a point where you can almost feel a light emanate from somewhere, cleansing your soul. And you will feel it. People ask me all the time, Abby, how do I know I am in a manifestation mode? I says, by the way you feel. It's very simple. Sometimes we wake up and we feel amazing. Milk that feeling. Don't let it go. Grab onto it. It doesn't even make sense sometimes. Abby, what are you talking about? But this is happening now, and he's left me, and she's not here, and this and that. Okay, fine. It is our reality as we see it. Try to focus on something that made you extremely happy at one time, and take it. Do that belly laugh.
I love it, because a lot of times when you're in these situations of losing the person that you love the most, it can be a real identity crisis, and really you're in a state of anxiety. Like, there's pockets, windows where you feel a little bit better, you have clarity, but then there's times clients have been completely overwhelmed, and breathing exercises have worked.
I truly believe that, and I also think there is a general myth that, and I'm sure you agree with this, and I probably have copied this from you, by the way.
No.
We have a tendency of thinking that our partners complete us, and they don't. And we don't want them to complete us, because what we want to be, when someone completes you, it's because you're broken. We want to feel whole. We want to compliment them.
Right.
We want them to compliment us. And through the law of attraction, you build your energy. You build that high frequency. They want to be around you. It's like they become the butterfly. They'll chase you. We need to always focus on attracting and not chasing.
I know that in your new course, you talk about journaling at great length and really how to leverage that tool, how to use it to make sure that you're staying accountable to this process, to the goals that you've set. And you talk about this notion of revising your journaling. And this is something that was completely new to me. For me, you journal and you move forward, and you continue to journal and you move forward. So can you, because I think that's very powerful, if you could share a little bit about this with some of our friends, I think that could be very beneficial for them.
So when we do revision in our journaling, obviously it's like doing a diary. We can all remember at some point in our lives where we had a dear diary, so and so and so and so. Okay. But if our things are not good, we're completely repeating. All that is not happening. He is not calling me. She doesn't want to see me. We reinstate that. When we do revision through the law of attraction, we write our story. We do the end to our love story. We create exactly what it is that we want to envision. And we believe it. We bring it inside us to believe it. And it's not imaginary, because we are writing it. We're penning it. We are the producers of our own life.
I love that. I love taking ownership of your emotional destiny. And really, it's a very powerful tool. Journaling is a very powerful tool. And in that context, you're really reshaping the end or at least you're taking control of your love life, and you're making sure that you're, basically setting the stage and the steps that you need to take in order to reach that goal. For me, a big part of the law of attraction is visualization, based on the way that you've shared that with us and what I've gained from it. Could you tell us a little bit more about visualization, please? And before you do so, just wanted to acknowledge some of the comments here. Thank you guys so much for the heartwarming messages that we receive, not just here, but all the time. So we see you. Thank you for always being so supportive to what we do, to the Love Advice TV family. And we appreciate you guys more than you know. And that's why we wanted to do this live. That's why I wanted Coach Abby to take you a little bit behind the scenes so that you can start to learn and understand some of those very powerful tools that she describes in her new powerful seminar on the law of attraction to get back with your significant other.
So let's talk a little bit about visualization. Visualization is the power of the imagination. See, everything we do, whether it's journaling, whether it's meditating, it's to empower ourselves. So visualization is you create a moment. Once again, you start with your meditation and you create that moment of just looking at things as if it were, not as it's going to happen. It's not something that we're hoping they're going to do this. No. Oh my gosh, yesterday it was so amazing that, we went to a club and the connection was there, and we had coffee the next morning, and we did this, and we're going to go for a run tomorrow. And I've got everything ready, and as if it is. So what happens with visualization? When we really, really are able to master it, and I hope that I've been able to extend on it in the seminar that's being released, and I think I have. I feel very confident with that, is the ability of you are able to let it go afterwards, because we do not pine over something we already have. It's there, it's ours. Right. We've already felt it. And this is, once again, what's very important on the law of attraction, is to hold on to the energy, to the feeling, not to what if, the was, the could have, the should have. It's done. It's as if. You breathe it in, you enjoy it as if.
I love it. I love it. I wanted to acknowledge one message here from Tinkling the Ivories, who says, from Phoenix, Arizona, Coach Abby, you guided me through a tough road last year, 10 hours to San Francisco. I listened to all of your videos and methods, and they work.
Thank you so much. That in and of itself is what fuels us. At least what fuels me. You fuel me. And to me, to have made this seminar, honestly, it's sort of effortless in the sense that I've been doing this for so long, much more than I'd like to admit, but but it is it's effective, and this is why I feel that I can boldly and confidently share what's worked for me, not to reinvent the wheel. It's, one of the things that is important, and I think we're going to be discussing it as well, and if not, I'll just go ahead and bring it up, is not only the clarity, is to realize that, like anything we do in life, we need to have an element of patience. This is not a magic wand. You have to really within yourself believe and that it's happening and it's effective.
Very good. We're going to answer some questions again, at least a couple at the end, depending on the time that we have. You talk about this notion of love to hate and hate to love in this seminar. And I think it's a powerful concept that some of these friends may, it may bring a lot of clarity. So can you say a few words about that?
That's precisely the word that I wanted to bring it to light, is clarity. So love to hate, hate to love is when you are in a quandary. Our exes are not with us anymore. And we're not too sure. We love them, but we hate them. We're upset. We're angry. We don't know what to do. They reach out. We immediately go back and rehash everything that led to the breakup. And we continuously, it's like, I always say to my clients, at least, the no contact is not a one size fits all, but it is for the purpose of not going back to talking about what happened. Because when we talk about what happened, no matter how distance you might have been, you're right back to square one. You pick up where you left off. And I think that it's very, very important to be clear of your end goal. It's not about having, I hate him for doing this, or I love her because of that. Take away the emotional aspect of it, because emotions are fickle. Yeah.
Abby, I remember a few weeks back, there's a client that reached out to me, and he told me, I watch a lot of Abby's videos about the law of attraction. Does this stuff really work? He asked me. And, it led to a very interesting conversation. And because there's a lot of skepticism around the law of attraction, there's actually a lot of skepticism about the process of getting an ex back too, because there's a lot of misunderstanding. Why would you want to do that? Or why would you use this tool? So could you say a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, it's interesting. And I don't put anybody down that's skeptical. But if you look at it, if we think about religion, okay, we believe in an unseen God. We believe in a God that we feel. The law of attraction is very similar to that. It's not a tangible thing. It's something we feel. It's not blasphemy. And not only is it not, we have manifested throughout our lives much more than we care to admit. And we call it telepathy or coincidence. How many times have you thought about a friend or something, and all of a sudden, that person appears, and you're saying, well, what's going on with that? You manifested it in your own way because you align yourself to the universe. And it's all about being in a line, and not only being in a line, being in a receptive mode. And yes, it's normal for you to be skeptical. And many times it's because it's not working out as you would like, but you also forget that there is a component of patience.
Right.
And let's talk about how many bridges were burnt before you started applying, So the beautiful thing about the law of attraction, in my opinion, is that it is intended to work with your ex, but it's more than that, because it is intended to bring you the happiness that you're looking for, whether it's through your ex or through someone new.
Mm.
And that creates a little bit of complexity when we're talking about it. But I think that, and once again, I don't want to refer to the seminar that I made, but I think it allowed me the time factor to elaborate much more on it.
Very, very awesome. And I invite all of you to check that out. I'm sure it's going to really provide you with some very powerful tools that can really help, not just in your relationships, but in your life, as you continue on this journey to turn crisis into opportunity. That's what it's about, really. And there are many questions linked to breakups that you guys have, I'm sure. And it would be our pleasure to answer a couple. But yeah, please.
Before we do,
yes,
I do want to leave, as far as our conversation, with the following. I think that affirmations is probably one of the most important things that we could possibly do. It's our gift to ourselves. And I'd like to touch on that just a tinge. And the sense is, use your I ams. I am is such a power. 2 letters, 2 words. That's it. I am. And create anything that you want right behind it. It goes back to scripture. It's in scripture. I am is very powerful. I am amazing. I am powerful. I am generous. I am great. I am desired. I am loved.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe that within yourself in order to attract that to you.
Yeah, it's very important. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's very powerful because I understand the state of vulnerability that many individuals find themselves in at the time of a breakup or a separation or a divorce. And you're constantly reminded, if you're making mistakes or if the person that you love is pushing back, is constantly telling you they don't want to do this with you. It's easy to lose your power in that sense.
And it's easy to lose your power when we give the power away.
Right.
And the purpose is not to give your power away. And to remind yourself you attracted them once.
Right.
You've got it all to reattract them.
Yes.
If you just go back to where you were initially and then do a little bit of the law of attraction, you can pick what works for you. Does visualization work for you? Does journaling work for you? Does meditation? Whatever it takes to manifest, because that's the prize. That is the prize, when you are able to literally see yourself manifesting.
No, I love that. So a lot of the questions, some of you have specific questions on long distance relationships or no contact. And we have so much content on both. I've actually done a very in-depth program on long distance. You can find a lot of these videos on Happily Committed YouTube channel. And on no contact, Coach Natalie, Coach Abby, Coach Alex, Coach Danny, myself, we have done so many videos on no contact. At this point, if you still have questions, I recommend that you perhaps book a coaching session so we can really take a tailored approach to that. If you have, I just wanted to highlight one comment here by Manos, who said that he's writing a novel about the relationship that ended in pain and turned his pain into creativity.
Wonderful.
And I think that that's a very powerful thing.
It's a revision.
That's right.
That's exactly how we do it. And when we read it back to ourselves, what happens to our energy? We're in a good place. When we start writing about, oh my gosh, they left and they're this and I'm nothing without them. We continuously reinforce that within ourselves. But if we are able to revise it and say, wow, they reached out, they're doing this and we're doing that, and create it as if, as it's done. Right. Abraham Hicks, which is someone that I have a tremendous amount of respect, wrote a book called Ask and It Is Given. And it's an amazing, and it's a small read. It's just going out there and looking at it and seeing it. It's an amazing read. And like her, there's many, many people. It's not just, and I'm so glad to have been able to learn from them. And through that, synthesize it and make it easy for you to pick up on that.
Especially in this context of trying to make a relationship right. I think it's very powerful. Here, there's another comment by Len that seems quite direct and straightforward, but that I find very powerful. And Len says, we have to change our behavior based on what they have expected to see.
Exactly.
which is the whole art and science of being able to rebuild a relationship, right? This person feel like they understand what you have to offer, who you are. They decide that this is no longer what they want. And unless there's this change, this transformation, or this evolution, it's very difficult to expect a new relationship. And the law of attraction helps you in that way to create this profound transformation that needs to occur.
Exactly, because it takes you to a different level. We're more focused within, inner, than towards them. So we start to shine. It's easier. We feel better about ourselves. How can you convince someone? I always ask this question, and I think I'll dare pose it at this point, is if you were the opposite sex or the same sex or what have you, looking for someone, would you look for you?
It's a tough question.
Would you be happy with what you offer?
Yeah.
And that's how I guide my principles of law of attraction. Be the best version of yourself. Raise that energy frequency. It's there. It's inside you. I'm just through the product is helping you find it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Natasha says a big shout out to the GOAT, Alex Como, and to Coach Natalie Solid. Of course, we wouldn't be here without our amazing team. And
I love that.
yes, so thank you for shouting out our colleagues there. There's a question by Simon about our coaching session. So it's a one-time fee. There's no ongoing email coaching. That's not how we work. We want to establish a one-on-one relationship with you. And there's a lot. If you go to withmyexagain.com/coaching or happily committed coaching, you can have a lot of information on that and find the right package with the right coach for you. I'm sorry, do you want to jump in, Abby?
No, I think it's wonderful. I find that mentors have mentors, coaches have coaches. It's if everything I say or do is confined through what I have between my ears, my clients are in trouble and so am I.
That's right.
I reach out to you many times when I find myself in a situation where there is a client that has something that I don't feel comfortable with. I feel that I've got something for them, but not comfortable enough. And I piggyback off your experience. And then therefore I feel that I am able to really give them what they're looking for. And I feel that you probably agree with that.
Of course, we're a team and we help each other. And, that's how we continue to learn also. So, we all operate in that same way. Starla says, I am a better person today. I just haven't found a way to show it. I think he will feel it. He will reach out. He will come back to me. So first and foremost, shout out Starla for the positivity and the right mindset. And it brings up an important point, one that I talk about often in coaching sessions, and then Abby can touch on the law of attraction angle to this. There's two components to going from, let's say, this process of reattraction a lot of times. One is the personal transformation component. You really have to change. You can't just fake it. Otherwise, you're not offering something new. You're not going to be able to surprise them. You're not going to be able to rebuild a relationship. And the second element is you need a communication platform. You need to be able to, showcase that change. And a lot of times people get caught up on trying to showcase the change before it actually happens. You break up, you feel like you've understood what went wrong, you see your mistakes clearly, you understand your partner's pain because your back is against the wall at this point. You're really bringing yourself to account in that way. And so you're ready to just showcase the change, but you have not done the work. And so when clients ask me, how do I show to my significant other that I've changed, it leads me to believe that oftentimes they're in that mindset of the quick fix and trying to just showcase without having done the work. Starla, you've done the work. And so you're living, breathing proof of that change, like I like to say. Everything that you will now do, any interaction that you will now have, well, that your significant other will be forced to see that transformation. And even through your silence, the fact that you're not desperate, you're not reaching out, that in and of itself is also, showcasing the change. So there comes a point where you can feel comfortable reaching out first. But I love the mindset. I love the confidence. And I'm sure that you're leveraging some of the tools that Coach Abby talks about in her seminar there. So I don't know if you want to add to that.
It's very true. I think that one of the most important things is that I always advise to validate their pain or their comments. It doesn't mean you agree with it, because remind yourself, a lot of people, they break up and then they blame it all on you. But what we do is we look at it through their perspective, through their lens. We validate. I understand. Thank you very much for pointing out that that perspective. I never saw it that way. Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
And in the interim period, that's the change that they're seeing. They're seeing a confident you, a person that is, being receptive, not argumentative. It's not about sweating the small stuff, really. It's just letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
Detach.
You're so right. Coach Abby, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to share some of your knowledge and insights and tools with our community. And you guys know where to find Coach Abby's products. We've shared the link in the chat. I think it is also in the description of this video. So if you want in-depth access to this knowledge on this program of how to maximize the law of attraction in order to get back into a relationship with the person that you love, because you believe it's the right person for you, because you believe that you can be happy together, that is the right program to check out. And can we do this again sometime soon?
Whenever you want. You're talking about one of my biggest passions. I'm restraining myself from not even talking and taking over the whole entire conversation here, because it's a passion. It's wonderful, and you start seeing how everything in your life starts changing, and that's so attractive. And you become happy, and happiness is probably one of the biggest things that keep a relationship together. And that's, people have this tendency of thinking it's love. And yes, love is an important component, but the ability to make yourself happy is only possible to make others happy if you're happy, is what I'm trying to say.
I could not agree more.
You cannot lend someone their Porsche, your Porsche, if you don't own one. You have to be happy within yourself and everyone. That's what we're all looking for. And it's just to be able to find ourselves in the right element to build a solid, healthy, wonderful, fulfilling relationship.
Thank you, Coach Abby.
It's my pleasure.
That was amazing. Thank you, all of you, for taking time out of your busy day to also check in with us. And thank you for your trust. And
thank you, Adrian, for inviting me.
We're grateful for this wonderful community. Keep fighting the good fight, my dear friends. And we'll see you soon for another live with the amazing Coach Abby.